It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and yes, I know what you're thinking. It's been a couple of days since I've posted a new video. Well, to quote Bob Cratchit from A Christmas Carol, I apologize, but I was making rather merry the last couple of days, of course, because Christmas has just happened. It's now after Christmas now, so I'm back. I didn't actually want to take the couple of days off, mostly because I had a couple of days off in September when I got sick, and I kind of wanted to keep everything in check for my regular routine and my regular schedule. But you know, things happen. I just didn't feel much of a desire to do this because I had to get ready for Christmas and everything. So that's why it's been a couple of days since I've done this. So I'm back on this. So let's go ahead. I've wasted much of your time already. We've got 4 movies to look at today, so let's just go ahead and jump on into it. Let's get back on track here. Let's start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, and that is Denzel Washington in the sports classic, Remember the Titans. So this is based on the true story of Coach Herman Boone and his attempt to integrate the T.C. Williams High School football team in Alexandria, Virginia in 1971. You have him playing Herman Boone, Denzel Washington, Will Patton playing Bill Yost, Boone's assistant coach, and real-life athletes Jerry Berter and Julius Campbell as Ryan Hurst and Wood Harris, respectively. This was a film that was pretty much a big hit right from the get-go with most audiences. Critics were not as receptive as they were when this movie came out. I think this movie, when it got decent reviews, it didn't get like bad reviews per se. Like it got a 72% in average reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, which was not bad. It's not bad by any means necessary, but did not get the proper respect it deserved right from the get-go, despite the fact that it was a big surprise hit. It has gone on to become more appreciative over the last couple of years, and is often considered by many as one of the greatest football films of all time. And honestly, I can't really argue with that, because this movie really is worth it. I mean, it's a great story. It's Denzel Washington doing what Denzel Washington does oh so well. It's a really good sports movie, a really good story, a really good visual flair and feel to the story. Good characters to really get around. I mean, it delivers everything it promises. It has a lot of those memorable moments that have made it the classic that it is now over 20 years later. And really, there's not really much more I can add to it per se. This is just one that I always go back to. It's a classic movie on so many levels. I got nothing else to say that hasn't already been said already. If you have not seen Remember the Titans, I mean, you should be seeing it, but you should have seen it by now at least. I mean, come on. Like, it's a great movie. I cannot say any more about it that hasn't already been said already. So that's Remember the Titans. So let's go ahead and move on to some of the lesser films that came out this weekend. Some of them were just opening a limited release, but there was one in particular that seems like it should be something, but it really was not. Let's take a look at Beautiful. She may win, but the movie does not win in terms of a box office or a critical reception or a lot of things that really dampen this film overall. But you have a story here where sometimes you have to give up the life of your dreams to discover the dream of your life. On her journey to become the next American Miss, because heaven forbid we can't just say Miss America, because that's a company that owns that's a respectable company, but not even a respectable company. That's a company that has that name, the name rights, I guess. But I digress. I'm wasting too much time here. You have a young woman played by Minnie Driver who's forced to reevaluate her life's goal, and in the process discover what's really important and what it truly means to be beautiful. Which, you know, this movie, I say it's a disappointment because there is so much talent there. I mean, not only in front of the camera but behind the camera. Sally Field. This is her first movie as a director, and you think with somebody like her, who's done so many great movies in her career, has got 2 Academy Awards, you would think that she would know how to handle a directing role like this, but in a way we have a good script to work with here. But you also have great talents in front of the camera. I mean, Minnie Driver, Joey Lauren Adams, Brigitte Wilson, Kathleen Turner, the Pepsi Girl, Hallie Kate Eisenberg, and you have a movie that could easily be a satire of the Miss America pageant, and that's where the film really stumbles for me. That's where the film really just falls apart, because it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. It really feels like Sally Field wanted to make a movie that really wanted to be so safe and so not go against something, I mean, that should be easily made fun of, because, you know, the Miss America pageants in general have had a lot of notable history that would make for great satire. Could make for great satire. I mean, Little Miss Sunshine did it so well, even though that was more of a little kids pageant. But Miss Congeniality, which came out later in the year, I think did it much better in general. And this movie just really does not have anything of noteworthiness to it. It doesn't go for the jabs and punches that they should do with something like this, and it really stumbles becomes it. But on top of that, you have a character that is so detestable, that is so intentionally detestable too. Sally Field purposely made this character the most hated person ever. She literally said, "Too many women characters in movie today are saintly. They aren't allowed to have colors like ambition, drive, passion, and desire. I like seeing a character who is flawed and who makes mistakes. Mona isn't nice. She walks a fine line between being liked and hated. She doesn't ask the audience to like her very often. In fact, she never asks for that. I hope by the end you come away wanting her to survive. You may not love her or want to be your best friend, but I think you can care about her and identify with her struggle." I identify with her struggle if you did make her somewhat likable. I mean, yeah, she's got a point where you can make a movie where a woman character can be likable, but you still kind of have a soft spot for them. But in this case, you just don't like these people at all. And not just Minnie Driver, but everybody else in this movie is so badly written, and it just really hurts the movie in the long run. And it's a shame because there is just so much potential there. It plays it way too safe. You don't like any single one of these characters whatsoever, and it just really hurts the movie in the long run. You expect so much more, and you just don't get it. You don't get anything of value to this whatsoever, and it just really is just so melodramatically bad. I mean, this is something that you would see on like the Hallmark Channel or a made-for-TV movie of the week. There is no reason to bring this to the big screen whatsoever. This is just a bad movie, man. This is just a major disappointment on so many levels. It's the talent that they have in front of the camera and behind the camera. You expect so much more, and you just don't get it here. So, yeah, Beautiful is certainly not a beautiful movie. I'll just say that. But hey, let's move on to our next movie, and it's probably the best overall film that came out this week in general, and that is Christopher Guest's Best in Show. The story of this is that you have 5 entrants in a prestigious dog show. They travel to and compete for the show, and you, of course, have a lot of Christopher Guest's actors that have worked with him in the past on stuff like Waiting for Guffman and films down the road, like A Mighty Winner for your consideration. This was actually a nice return to form for him after Almost Famous was seen as kind of a missed opportunity. But you've got a lot of his talented people that he's worked with in the past. Eugene Levy's in here, Catherine O'Hara, Johnny Michael Higgins, Michael McKean, Parker Posey, Jennifer Coolidge, Jane Lynch. Just a great cast. Fred Willard as well. I love this movie, man. This is a really, really funny movie, and it works so well with the style of comedy that Christopher Guest usually brings to this type of here. And it literally became the inspiration for the National Dog Show that airs every year on Thanksgiving on NBC. It's been like that now for over 20 years. It was because of this movie right here that really did it, and it shows you why. It's a very unique premise. It kind of does everything that I wanted Beautiful for it to do. I wanted it to take jabs at a specific pageant. I wanted to go for some humor that would not be that isn't just saying this like what do I want to say? That isn't just safe and marketable. I didn't even need to pause that because I literally remembered that word as soon as I stopped the camera. But yeah, Beautiful was trying to be something that's too safe and marketable, but this feels like they wanted to go for it, and it really does work very well. And it works because, the improvisation of the actors. You've got a lot of great improv actors here that just make this work so well. That's why Waiting for Guffman works so well. It's a really good, well-made film on so many levels. It's funny, it's well-made, it's absolutely hilarious. I love this movie. It's one of Christopher Guest's best movies. I mean, I can't really say anything more about this one that hasn't already been said already. Best in Show, certainly the best of the movies that we have this week. So with that said, on to our last movie, and that is Michelle Rodriguez in Girl Fight. So Michelle Rodriguez plays a troubled Brooklyn high school student who decides to channel her aggression by training to become a boxer, despite the disapproval of both her father and her prospective trainers, as well as the competitors in the male-dominated sport. This is directed by Karen Kusama, who later would go on to direct Aeon Flux, but then would direct the far superior Jennifer's Body. But that one's probably my favorite film she's done. But this one's pretty good too. It does show what Michelle Rodriguez can bring to the table as a leading actress, and she plays the role here very well. I think she does work this role very well. And I mean, this is a film that really has a lot going for it. It has a really good idea to it. And it's not afraid to take chances. It really is a well-made film, a very unique concept in general. And, you know, a first-time filmmaker made this movie. And it's something that it really does show what a first-time director like this can really bring to the table here. And like I said, Michelle Rodriguez really does carry a lot of the load here. I think it's a very good performance. It shows her abilities as an actress that I don't think a lot of people really are taking a lot of opportunities with as of late, you know, because she's so associated with the Fast and Furious movies. And she's not really given a whole lot to really range herself as an actress as of recently. At least I would think that not, because, you know, I haven't really seen her in anything that makes her stand out more than what she brings to the table in this movie here. And it's when they put her on all these different action movies in general, there's not really that whole lot they give her, honestly. Like, it's really underplaying her true potentials here. Like, I really am trying to think of what probably the best movie she's done since then. Maybe Widows, which came about 5 years ago, I think, the Steve McQueen film. I think that's the closest one I can think of that really shows what she could do as a leading actress. And I think this movie here really shows that, hey, there is the potential there. There's not a lot of people are really giving her that opportunity to really go that route, except for somebody like Steve McQueen. But hopefully that will change soon. I hope she does get another chance to show what she could really do as a leading actress. But she's really good in this movie. She's really what carries the load of the film. And honestly, I'm shocked that she was not even nominated for. She wasn't even considered for an Oscar nomination for this, because she probably would have been nominated considering the talent that was in there that year. I mean, she really had an opportunity to really make it there. But it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth a watch. It's a very underrated little gem. Girl Fight. It's actually really good. And so on that note, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. We're going to head into October in the next episode, and we're starting it off with a bang, because we got 7 big notable movies to talk about, including Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro in the comedy Meet the Parents, Sylvester Stallone and Michael Caine in Get Carter, Digimon the movie. We also have Cyberworld, which is a film you probably have not heard of, but once I tell you about it, it has a very interesting history behind it. We also have the limited release of Spike Lee's latest film, Bamboozled, the limited release of Darren Aronofsky's Requiem for a Dream, and also Joe Schumacher's Tigerland. So we have a lot of movies to talk about on the next episode. So we'll have a very busy episode to look at next time around. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.